The secret to a good salad is a really good dressing. Welcome to the Salted Pepper, where we cook for real life using real food and we keep it real simple. And today we're gonna make a strawberry vinaigrette dressing for this beautiful and soon to be perfect salad. So let's get right into it because it's super easy. Literally, this will take you 5 minutes or less, okay? You wanna have a blender cup or a full-size blender will work for this recipe. So either one is perfectly fine. Then the one thing I'm gonna give you like a little tip is when you're building your salad dressing, whether you're making this salad dressing or another salad dressing, always keep in mind that your ingredients are going to flip over, okay? So we want to layer it in a certain way so that everything gets nicely combined. Like I've made the mistake of putting certain ingredients in last and then they're kind of down there at the bottom and they don't get mixed in right. I've put the honey in first and then it clings to the top and doesn't get mixed in right. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add in the strawberries. You're gonna need 5 ounces or about a cup of normal size strawberries. When I say normal size, like medium size. These were gigantic. So I ended up cutting them in quarters or in halves, okay? But usually a normal size strawberry that isn't like ginormous, this would even be kind of a big one. You would just put them in whole, right? So we're gonna put that in 5 ounces or about 1 cup uncut, okay? But really, it's better to go by ounces. And you know, if you have too many strawberries, it's just gonna make a thicker dressing. I mean, it'll still be delicious. Okay, so we've got our strawberries. It's strawberry vinaigrette, so of course we need strawberries. Then we need to add in an acid. Vinaigrette is typically 3 parts oil to 1 part acid, and the oil can change, the acid can change depending on the recipe. What I'm using is 1 cup of avocado oil, and I'm using a combination of white wine vinegar and lemon juice because I like the little lemony flavor in this dressing. You could use all vinegar if you wanted, and you could use apple cider if you didn't have white wine. That's perfectly fine. You could use olive oil instead of avocado oil. Whatever you want is perfectly fine. You can even start out with about 3/4 of a cup of oil if you didn't want it as oil heavy, because this ratio is not exact, but technically, our strawberries are a little acidic, so I kind of counted that in, and this balance worked great for me. But again, it's your dressing, so change it up. Start with less oil, start with more vinegar, skip the lemon, whatever you want to do. It's perfectly fine. All right, 2 tablespoons of the white wine vinegar. And then I add in a little bit of salt and pepper, 1/2 teaspoon of fine grind sea salt or kosher salt, and 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, and add that in. Our 1 cup of oil, and yep, we're gonna add it all in all at once because between the honey and the strawberries, it will emulsify as we blend it, so no worries there. All right, set this to the side. I've decided to use the zest because I don't like things to go to waste, so I'm gonna zest this, and I don't have my regular zester, so I'm gonna use this box grater on the small little grate side and just zest the skin and add that in to the dressing. That's totally optional. If you wanted to use 2 tablespoons of already prepared lemon juice, skip the fresh lemon. I've made it both ways. It's delicious. So probably that is about a teaspoon or so of the lemon zest. There's no right or wrong here. As much as your lemon gives you is perfectly fine. Just don't get down to the white part. That's the pith. That's gonna be bitter and it's gonna bring in that bitterness to your dressing. All right, slice the lemon in half. I'm not sure if I'm gonna need all of this. I want a total of 2 tablespoons. And just to make it a little bit easier, I'm gonna squeeze it, if I can, right over this little mesh strainer so that if any seeds do get in there, I don't have to deal with that. All right, let's see how much we have. We're gonna put in 2 tablespoons. That's 1. Just a little shy. Let's see if I could just squeeze out a little bit more so I don't have to squeeze the other lemon for this. All right, that'll work perfect. Okay, now for the sweetener. For this recipe, I like to use honey. I think it balances it so well. If you wanted to use regular sugar or you wanted to use a sugar substitute, that's perfectly fine. I'm using 2 tablespoons of honey. With sugar, like granulated sugar or sugar substitute, you might want to start out with 3 or start out with 2 and then see if it's sweet enough for you, whatever you want. But honey is a little bit sweeter than sugar. Now you will probably have a different blender than I do, no worries. I'm gonna go on extract, but you can go on smoothie function, anything that is a high speed function. And you're gonna blend it for about 90 seconds. And there we have it. We are all done. Now you can use your dressing right away, or you can put it into the refrigerator to chill. Either way, and you can store it in the refrigerator for up to about 4 days or so. That really depends on how fresh your strawberries are, okay? So the fresher they are, the longer your dressing will last. You wanna keep it in a sealed container. You can also use frozen strawberries, same exact instructions, just substitute in 5 ounces of frozen strawberries. But one thing I'll let you know is the frozen strawberries chill everything quite a bit, including the honey, so it's a little harder to mix, so you might need to run 2 cycles of your blender, or you can certainly thaw the strawberries a little bit, okay? But if you thaw them, let some of the liquid come out. All right, here we go. That is so beautiful. Makes about 2 cups of dressing. Now you can store it for later or put it on your salad right now. I do have one thing I want to add first, and that's a few little candied pecans. The salad, in case you want to make it, I'm going to tell you what I have in here. I have a little bit of a spring mix, some sliced plum tomatoes, just because I had them from another recipe. I have some red onions, some cucumbers, of course, a fresh sliced strawberry, a little bit of red pepper, some smoked Gouda cheese, which I added in because I'm using my wood fire smoked turkey breast that I made that I'm testing for a recipe. And I thought this is gonna make a fantastic salad. All right. So about 2 tablespoons on top. That is a normal serving size. It is delicious. Sometimes I surprise myself.